Welcome to Lakshya Academy YouTube channel. Okay, this is our sixth part of body fluids and their circulation. Okay, in this part, we are going to learn anticoagulants. That means which prevent the clotting of blood. What are the anticoagulants present in our blood? Okay, right now in our body, blood is being circulated in our body, but without clotting. How this how is this blood circulated in our body without clotting? But when there is an injury to our blood vessel, okay, blood clots. As long as blood is inside the body, okay, there is no clotting of blood. Okay, this is the body fluids and their circulation part 6. What we are going to learn here. Okay, this is a body fluids and circulation lesson. In this lesson, our main focus is structure of heart, working of heart. These things we'll discuss here. Okay, subscribe to NEET Biology. You will be getting more useful videos which are very helpful to your NEET preparation. Okay, in the previous episode, in the previous part 5, okay, I have explained you blood clotting mechanism. Okay, extrinsic pathway, intrinsic pathway, common pathway. This is extrinsic pathway, this is intrinsic pathway, and there is a common pathway here. This is the common pathway. Okay, in the extrinsic pathway, okay, this one you have to practice a lot. Okay, then you can remember it. Extrinsic pathway tissue. It initiates when there is a tissue trauma. Intrinsic pathway when there is a blood trauma. Damage to blood vessel tissue, release a tissue factor. What is third factor? I told you one code here. Foolish people try climbing long slopes after Christmas. Some people have fallen. Okay, here the third fact is tissue thromboplastin or tissue thromboplastin intrinsic fact pathway. This is the 12th factor, Hageman's factor. Okay, in the presence of calcium ions, it activates 10th factor, Stewart-Prover factor or thrombokinase. Here the third factor activates the in the presence of calcium ions. Calcium ions is the fourth factor. Seventh factor proconvertin, and in the presence of calcium ions again the seventh factor activates the 10th factor Stewart Prover factor thrombokinase, and the activated 10th factor and fifth factor and phospholipids in the presence of calcium, and therefore there will be a formation of a complex substance called prothrombin activator or prothrombinase. Prothrombinase. Okay, we learned these things in the previous part. Just I am revising that one. Okay, this is the cascade like a waterfall. One step over the next. This is the what like a waterfall. Here, okay, this is a 12th factor, then 11th factor, then ninth factor, then the 10th factor. Here, 7th factor, then here inactivate. These all are inactive. Okay, this is inactive. This is inactive. Here, A. This A means active. Okay, this 12th factor is activated to inactive. 12th factor is activated to inactive. Active 12, and inactive 11 becomes as a active 11. Okay, inactive 9 becomes as a active 9. Okay, like that this intrinsic pathway and extrinsic pathway take place, and as a result of there is a activated 10th factor, and this is the common pathway. This is the common pathway. This is given in one color. This is the intrinsic pathway is given in one color. Extrinsic is given in one color, and this common pathway is given in another color to recognize it easily. Okay, that's 10th factor. Now, okay, what is happening along with the fifth factor? The 10th factor along with the fifth factor. I told you here, this is the 10th factor. This is the 10th factor. 10th factor along with fifth factor. Okay, this is the 10th factor and along with the fifth factor. Okay, fifth factor. What is they doing here? They are converting prothrombin into okay, prothrombin is converted to thrombin. Then the thrombin converting fibrinogen into fibrin, and the 13th factor. What is 13th factor? Fibrin stabilizing factor. It is helping in the fibrin clot. This is today's topic is clot retraction. Okay, within a few days after clot is formed. Okay, does the clot remains there all the time? No. Okay, once clot is formed at the injured part, the clot does not remain there all the time. Okay, within a few minutes after clot is formed, it begins to contract. The clot begins to contract so that one fluid is expelled out. Okay, this process is clot retraction. Clot retraction. And the fluid thus formed is called serum. You can observe this one here. Clot retraction. After the formation of the blood clot starts contracting. The blood clot starts contracting. Okay, clot retraction after the formation of clot, the blood clot starts contracting. After about 30 to 35, 30 to 45 minutes, the straw-colored fluid called serum oozes out of the clot. Observe here, clot retraction, normal, abnormal. Okay, formerly retracted clot. After the formation of clot, the clot retracts. As a result, one fluid oozes out. From that clot, one fluid comes. That fluid is called serum. There are some differences between plasma and serum. Okay, plasma minus clotting factors is equal to serum. Very important this one. Okay, let us take plasma. Plasma has clotting factors. Plasma minus clotting factors. Plasma minus clotting factors is equal to serum. Plasma minus clotting factors is equal. Okay, what are the clotting factors? You know very well. Fibrinogen and prothrombin are the clotting factors. There are many are there. Main these two. Okay, plasma clotting factor. What are the difference between plasma? Plasma is the intercellular fluid. Plasma is collected without allowing blood to clot. But serum is obtained after the clotting of blood. Serum does not have clotting factors. Okay, this process is called clot retraction. Okay, this is not important. The contractile proteins, namely actin, myosin, eulant in the muscle, and thrombostatin, are the responsible for clot retraction. This is the additional information. Okay, contraction of blood clot is called clot retraction. Contraction of blood clot is called clot retraction. Retraction is caused by contraction of fibers in the clot. There are fibers in the clot. Those fibers, fibrinogen, fibrin fibers. Those fibers contract. Actin, myosin. Okay, muscle contraction like that. Here, contraction is caused by a retraction is caused by the contraction of fibers. Okay, what is retraction? Contraction of blood clot. What is retraction? Contraction of blood clot. Okay, note down these points. Okay, in our running notes. And retraction is caused by contraction of fibers in the clot. Fibers in the clot pull the contents close together. For example, this is the blood vessel. Okay, this is the blood vessel. Here there is an injury here. Here clot is from now there is a clot here. Okay, this is a clot. Clot is here. This is the ends. Okay, fibers pull the cut ends. This is one cut end. This is another cut end. If you observe in this diagram, the cut ends become very close. They came very close. Okay, here there is a lot of gap here. The fibers in the these are fibers are here. Fibers in the clot pull the curtains close together and strongly attaches both ends. Okay, next one, platelets required for this clot retraction. Okay, platelets are important. BPL, blood platelets or thrombocytes. These are important for clot retraction. Okay, which cells are important for clot retraction? Platelets. Platelets are also called thrombocytes. Failure of clot retraction. Sometimes in some people clot retraction does not occur. Failure of clot retraction, okay, low, that indicates low count of platelets in those people's blood. Blood platelets are lesser than the normal. And dengue fever causes low platelets count. Okay, you might have heard. Okay, when people suffering from dengue fever, we commonly heard one term. We commonly hear one term that is called platelets count. Platelet count. Platelet count. Okay, it becomes, and platelets transfusion is required for those people who are suffering from dengue fever. What do they require? Platelet transfusion. That means they take, doctors take our blood from other persons, and okay, RBC and WBC are separated, and they collect only platelets, and those platelets are transfused to the patient. Serum is equal to yellow fluid that oozes from the clot retraction. Plasma minus, I told you in the previous slide. Okay, plasma minus clotting factors, fibrinogen or clotting factors is equal to, what do we call it? Serum. Serum is equal to plasma. Serum is equal to plasma minus fibrinogen or clotting factors. Okay, platelets are necessary. Platelets are necessary for clot retraction. What are necessary for clot retraction? Platelets are necessary for clot retraction. Failure of clot retraction, indicates that the number of platelets, failure of clot retraction indicates that number of platelets in the blood might be low. In the case of disease such as dengue fever, the platelet count falls low and the patient may require transfusion of blood platelets. Okay, the patient has to be given platelets. Now come to the anticoagulants. Anticoagulants. What do you mean by anticoagulants? Okay, the anti. What do you mean by coagulation? Means clotting. Clotting of blood is also called coagulation. Anti, anti. Okay, sometimes we use the term anti, Vetirekam. Okay, there are some substances which are against to coagulation of blood. They do not allow our blood to clot. They do not allow our blood to coagulate. Such substances are called anticoagulants. Anticoagulants. Okay, let us take let us list out what are those anticoagulants. The first one is heparin. Heparin is an anticoagulant synthesized by Eulant in first year. You prepared it for IPE exams. Okay, mast cells. Mast cells produce histamine, bradykinin, heparin, serotonin. Heparin is an anticoagulant synthesized by the mast cells. Eulant in areolar tissue, mast cells, and basophils. Okay, these basophils form mast cells. Okay, from the basophils, and it activates antithrombin, a plasma protein which combines with the thrombin and inactivates it. You have to understand this point carefully. It activates the anti. What is antithrombin? A plasma protein. Up to now, it is inactive. Okay, this heparin, right now in our body, this is happening. Okay, right now in our body there is heparin. That heparin activates what? antithrombin. What is antithrombin? It is a plasma protein which combines with the thrombin and inactivates it. What happens if thrombin is inactivated? What is the benefit? Okay, you learnt in the beginning here. This is a thrombin. If thrombin is activated, okay, it converts fibrinogen present in our blood into fibrin. Therefore, clot is formed in our body. Therefore, we cannot survive. Our blood cannot flow if all the entire blood clots. Okay, that's why this antithrombin inactivates thrombin. As long as our blood is as long as you are not injured, okay, blood should not come outside. Okay, when you are injured, blood has and has to blood has to clot. At that time, only thrombin has to be formed. But here, okay, the remaining time, okay, when we are not injured at that time, the thrombin must be in inactive condition. Who is inactivating that thrombin? Okay, that is antithrombin. Who is activating that antithrombin? Heparin. Heparin activating antithrombin, which combines with the thrombin. I will show you that one here. This is heparin. Okay, this is activating. Heparin is activating. What is heparin activating here? Heparin is activating antithrombin. Okay, this now antithrombin, it is activating the antithrombin. The antithrombin is going and binding to the thrombin. Okay, therefore, in our body, blood does not clot. If thrombin is there, thrombin converts okay, what fibrinogen into fibrin or fibrin. Okay, when this antithrombin binds to this thrombin, this reaction does not occur. When this reaction does not occur, no clot is not formed in our body. That means no clot is formed. Okay, next, the second one is warfarin. Coumarins of plant origin are the precursors of anticoagulants such as these warfarins are formed from coumarins of plant origin are the precursors of anticoagulants. ఇవి వేటి నుంచి ఫామ్ అయ్యాయి అంటే వార్ఫారిన్ నుంచి ఫామ్ అయ్యాయి. వార్ఫారిన్ దేని నుంచి ఫామ్ అయింది? కౌమారిన్స్ నుంచి. Coumarins of plant origin are the precursors of such anticoagulants such as warfarin, which is antagonistic to vitamin K. In 10th class and lower classes, you learned vitamin K, phylloquinone. Vitamin K is, what is the significance? You learned that vitamin K helps in clotting of blood. How vitamin K helps in clotting of blood? Vitamin K is important for synthesis of, okay, it's clotting factor 2, clotting factor 7, clotting factor 9, and clotting factor 10, which are formed in the liver. For the synthesis of these all factors, clotting factor, vitamin K is important. But what is happening here? This warfarin is it is antagonistic to vitamin K. That means it is inactivating vitamin K. Therefore, when vitamin K is not activated, and these are not formed in our body, in our liver, 2, 7, 9, 10. Therefore, our blood does not clot. Okay, here the classification of anticoagulants, it is not in our syllabus, but it is important. Calcium chelators, non-calcium chelators. That means calcium chelators means they bind with calcium. Okay, they do not bind with calcium. Heparin, we learned this one. We also covered this one. Warfarin just now. Okay, these two do not bind with calcium, but there is another one, EDTA. This is important for you. Okay, this EDTA, ethylene diamine, you have next in the next slide you come across that one EDTA. Okay, this EDTA, ethylene diamine tetraesteric acid, it binds with. Okay, 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 I will explain you this one later at the end. Warfarin, this is the first one. Then we discussed about the warfarin. Warfarin inactivates the vitamin K. Therefore, Okay, these factor 2, 7, 9, 10. Inactive clotting factor, these factors have to be become active one, active clotting factors. Here vitamin K is important. And warfarin inhibits the synthesis of active forms of vitamin K, and dependent clotting factors is 2, 7, 9, 10. Okay, that is the effect of warfarin. Warfarin uses, it is not in our book. Okay, warfarin is sometimes prescribed for a variety of medical conditions. For some people, it is used as a medicine. Warfarin is commonly used to treat people with the different kinds of blood clots. Such sometimes blood clot is formed in our brain, in lungs, in other body parts. That is venous thrombosis, blood clot in the veins of leg. To treat that one, okay, warfarin is used. Pulmonary embolism, a blood clot that lodges in the lungs. Okay, to treat those blood clots which are formed in the lungs, this is used as a medicine, warfarin. Next, last one is EDTA, clotting of blood in the test tube, clotting of blood in a test tube in a clinical laboratory can be prevented by addition of citrates or oxalates of sodium citrate, sodium oxalate of ethylene diamine tetraestic acid, ethylene diamine tetraestic acid, EDTA. Okay, we all know that sometimes people on the occasion of okay birthdays of heroes or other people, okay, or Mahatma Gandhi. Okay, okay. People donate. They come forward to donate blood. Okay, that blood is stored in the blood banks. But when we keep the blood in the blood bank, okay, in controlled conditions, okay, blood may clot. Okay, they keep the blood in the packets and they store them. The blood may clot in that pack, then it becomes useless. We have to add some chemicals to that to not allow okay, those chemicals do not allow it to clot. What this is one of such chemical, EDTA. Clotting of blood in the test tubes in the clinical laboratories and blood banks can be prevented by the addition of citrates or oxalates of sodium and ethylene diamine tetraestic acid, EDTA. They bind to calcium ions. Okay, these chemicals bind to calcium. And calcium is very important. This was given in me recent exam in NTA papers. In NTA papers, one bit was given from this point. Okay, in NTA, and that means neat model paper mock test. Okay, this is very important. Calcium is which factor? Can you tell me what is the number that is allotted to the calcium? What is the number that is allotted to the calcium? That is 4. It is the fourth clotting factor. When calcium, the EDTA bind to calcium ions and thus make it calcium unavailable for the action of clotting. Therefore, clotting does not take place. Okay, that's the end of this video about anticoagulants we learned here and clot retraction, sorry. And I briefly explained what we learned in the previous part. Okay, don't forget to subscribe my channel Neat Biology. Okay, you will benefit from that. Okay, that's the end of today's topic.